Dear friends, dear truth seekers, this time I would like to talk about the Isais Revelations. I have published the entire Isais Revelation on my website in 3 languages, English, Spanish and German. Isais from the Isais Revelations is an ethereal entity that has been guiding the German people since centuries, if not millennia. The text of the Isais Revelation comes from the first archive of the Templar heritage community. We will now read parts of the Isais Revelations and discuss them briefly. This is my website www.imperialgermans.com, and I've published the entire Isais Revelations here in 3 languages. Here's an image of Isais surrounded by 2 animated candles. Here we can read the quote or spell of the Isais or the Isais poem. From the light of the moon, from the darkness of the night, you come forth, Sister Isais, who always saw us, who always thought of us. This is a poem or summoning spell of Isais. From the light of the moon, from the darkness of the night, refers to the full moon, where you can in theory make contact to Isais by thinking about her. And the full moon makes a connection to Isais stronger. In short, with the full moon, you can easily think of Isais and make contact to her. Next we read, you come forth, Sister Isais, who always saw us, who always thought of us. From the light of the moon Isais comes, who can see us for who we really are. This means that you can make contact to Isais the best during a full moon. If you recite the poem or spell and think about her, it is possible that Isais will contact you. But she can see our true selves. But in the Isais Revelation she states that she will only meet with the righteous and purest ones, and not the deceiving evil and toxic people. Let's read the next part. Truth I speak to you to the ear, image I give you to the face, speak knowledge and wisdom. All embracing from beginning to end, talk no parable or allegory, no detouring words. Clearly I announce what was, what is. Here Isais states that she will give you information on the past, present and future. What happened, what happens in the present, and when the final battle will take place in the future. She announces what has to be done for the kingdom of heaven on earth to become a reality. And we read on. Human beings, since earthbound doomed to die and immortal at the same time. Here Isais states that we have mortal bodies, so we are doomed to die, but that we have an immortal soul. We read further, celestial children, heavenly born, many thousand times older than the world itself. Here Isais states that her tribe, the Germanic people, are heavenly born, and that their kind is way older than the world itself. We read on, sons of light and daughters of splendor, dwellers in the sky, lost in the darkness, living in the light, and yet succumbing to the shadow, eternal yet not free from dying, wanderers over the riches of the worlds, newly born on the side, yet destined for the other side, children of gods but not godlike. They're still more meaningful about the people, old their lineage, young their world, unborn the human being, since the beginning there will always be. Pre-beginning was there from pre-eternity, everything given not space nor time, beingless slumbering. Here Isais states that we all originated from the light, but that we succumb to the shadows or Shaitanic forces. This is comparable to the fall into sin in the Bible. She further states that we have an eternal soul and that we have multiple lives, that we go from body to body, and that her tribe, the Germanic people, are a very old lineage that is way older than the world itself. She further talks on how creation had a beginning, but that God, the God consciousness, is eternal, was there from beginning to end. We read on. The beings there all, the All-Father had mercy on them, created measurable time, created spaces, wonderful, heavenly worlds. There the seeds of the beings sank. Eternity had begun from pre-eternity, beginning and sprouted from pre-beginning. Here Isais talks about the Cosmogenesis, that the semen entered the womb of creation and fertilized all the eggs inside the womb of creation and created the beings in all these planes. Then the Father created the heavens and the world planes where all these beings could live in. We scroll down a bit and read, true I speak knowledge and wisdom, teach knowledge and way to you with clear word. In heavenly worlds dwells All Father with his faithful. In hell dwells the dark prince of shadows, the rejected one, the corrupter, Shaddai is his name. In Valhalla rule the cheerful heroes, the gods with their women. Guest right with them is Ishtara, All Father's messenger. The ones who go in and out there, the double immortals, brothers and sisters of mine. Here Isais talks about the adversary of the All Father or Father in heaven. Shaddai is the name of the adversary, and that he dwells in some hell and rules through pain and fear. This is comparable to Satan in the Bible. Satan literally means adversary. Isais further states that the heroes all reside in Valhalla with their wives in the Hall of Heroes. Ishtara is another goddess or a mythological entity that is portrayed here as the messenger of the All-Father. All people reach this world with them animals and plants to wander for earthly life. The otherworldly arch offers them a way after earthly death. Each one chooses his path. In Greenland all can meet, good and evil, any kind. Isais, who teaches you, has her office there. At night in sleep, your spirit lifts itself from the body, you roam the slumber worlds. Many things meet here, exchanges itself from time to time. Up some spirit strives also in broad daylight. Vibration from the beyond may speak to him to give message, but I warn, often such is deception. Attention human being, earth post-born. Here Isais says that in the other world there's a place called Greenland, where all types of being can meet, be it good or evil. Isais has her office there and works from there. She further states that when you leave your body that you can have real dreams or out-of-body experiences in these other realms. She further states that many spirits can influence you on earth and that many are deceitful and want to deceive you into doing things they want. This is comparable to possession of people by negative spirits. We scroll further down and we read here. Sea of flames over the countries will still roar many a time units before the warmth passes away. Malice feeds the evil belly, makes the caster of shadows mighty. Who would stop the horror as long as the jug of clearing water does not open? Therefore persevere. You shall stand ready for all times, until the hour of the victorious sword is fulfilled. Then the flag will fly high in the storm of the final battle, when the water jugs is raised, net the entire world. Here Isais talks about the wars that will happen with her favorite tribe, that fire will come from all sides, World War I and World War II, and that it will take a long time until the day and hour of victory. But we have to persevere, she says. She talks about the final battle in between the forces of light against the forces of darkness. This is comparable to the final battle of the Bible, Armageddon. We read on. Hail to the knowledgeable, hail to the wise, who follow what is advised. They will be powerful. Women's hair binds magical powers. Beyond vibration catches in this world. The longer it waltzes in symmetry, the more light power it can gain, but not unthreatened in dark times, because Shadain lusts after it. Flowing spirits, magical vibratory power, sometimes chooses the long hair of the maiden as a refuge. It is mostly good, gives a lot, gives the ability to work for will. Those in the yard and at the stove keep it long, but those who openly fight against the darkness should have it short, as Isais did to her journey to hell. Powerful the man is in combat with the sword and power of his will. Magical, however, is the woman. Here Isais states that the hair of the women work as an antenna for otherworldly vibrations, and that women during time of peace should wear their hair long to be able to communicate better with the other world. She further states that if you're fighting darkness or the evil spirits in this realm, that you can have your hair short, as Isais had during her trip to hell, where she recovered the black-purple gemstone. We read on. The signs in the sky recognize you, the cold ones feel it, the chosen one understand it, they call me. From the light of the moon, from the darkness of the night, you come, Sister Isais, who always saw us, who always thought of us. Here Isais states, again, that you can make contact to her by thinking about her, and making a small shrine to her, and that during full moon, making contact with her is easier or facilitated. We read on. When Ishtara will have opened the glass lid of the water jug and already young light shines effectively, then change approaches. Then Isais has finished her work for the time. Ishtara carries now the post from now on. You shall then kiss her mouth, eyes and hair. You shall serve the light powerful one for the purpose, but not forget Isais. Here Isais talks about the coming of the Aquarian age. This is the change from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius, where apparently a jar of energy or water will disperse all around the world and purify and heal the world, comparable to the biblical flood of the Bible. And we read on. But some, who are the bravest, may remain at my side. From the light of the moon I call them to me. From the light of the moon they call me. Such are they who do not fear the worst, who do not shy away from the hardest, who renounce near peace and bliss, because in Greenland the fight is not yet over. I will no longer be a sister to them, but a bride and spouse. Here Isais says that the warriors that had never given up, and that did not fear back for anything, that they will have the possibility to marry Isais after the final battle of Armageddon or Judgment Day. If you want to read the entire Isais Revelations, the link is in the description. It is a very interesting read on Germanic mythology. Isais speaks about the water jar that will be poured over the entire world at the end of times. This is the change from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. It speaks of a cleansing of the earth after a final battle in between the forces of light and the forces of darkness. She also speaks about the fact that in Greenland, that is for us the hereafter, that there are also wars and battles taking place in Greenland, and that the battle in the hereafter is decisive for the victory on earth. Isais further states in the Isais Revelations that when you leave your body, that you truly dream, or actually meet other beings in the other planes. I have induced out-of-body experiences or astral travel by reading the book by William Woolman, Adventures Beyond the Body. If you want to leave your body, you have to train yourself in doing it, or read the books on the subject and try it for yourself. It is possible. This part of the Isais Revelations is only understandable for those people that actually astrally traveled or had out-of-body experiences. Atheists or materialists will not understand that part of the Isais Revelations. Here you can see that Isais is talking about truths that most materialists and atheists will never understand. Only those that have induced astral projection can understand that section of the Isais Revelations. Isais goes on to say that the All-Father, or the Father up there, will make it possible at the end for us to return to All-Father's kingdom. This is comparable to the Bible during the rapture when Jesus Christ returns, that he takes all these people into heaven. Isais goes on to say that those men that fought the hardest and never gave up will have the opportunity to marry her after the final battle of Armageddon. As I've said before, Isais is a female archetype that appears often in our society. That is why many awakened women identify with Isais from the Isais Revelations. The main Isais, or the Isais Prime, works very powerfully in the afterlife and in the hereafter, and has a powerful influence in this world. Isais further states that her soul family is related to the soul family of the felines, so you can honor Isais by taking care of a cat. She also states that we will get help from people of the same kind from the Taurus constellation. That is a reference to the Nordic Aldebaranians or Nordic extraterrestrials from the star system of Aldebaran. We will now read the Isais' Hope. The Isais' Hope. Through iron times you will go, through cruel hard times without sunny nature. It must not frighten you, for harder you are. Through hollow emptiness you will go, through hours of seemingly lost meaning. It must not paralyze you, for meaningful you are. Through stony deserts you will go, desolate and without shielding. It must not torment you, for comfort you are and shielding you are. Through raging storms you will go, everything it seems, they tear away. It must not make you complain and tremble, for rich you are within. Through rough mountains you will go, pitiless scraping the rock. It must not hinder you, for tougher you are. Through the suffering of disappointment you will go, prepared by humanity. It must not bend you, for truly you are. Through manifold tribulations you will go, and yet always prevail. For hope you are, and rightly trusting. Do not hope in mind the gods' powers. This note thereafter, all-time hope be strong. Nothing then can also conquer you. Again, if you want to read the entire Isais Revelation, the link is in the description. Isais also says that it will be a long time before the day of judgment or the final battle, and that we must persevere and keep going until that time comes. Only the All-Father knows the exact date and hour of judgment, comparable to the Bible, where only the Father in heaven knows the day and hour of judgment. I hope you found this video informative and entertaining. Don't forget to rate and subscribe and press the bell button, and if you can make a small donation, the details are in the description. Many greetings from Merana, Germany, and cheers!